Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Company 119's The Coffee Cup. My name is Ryan Gilkerson, lead creative here at Company 119, and let's get started. So, Cleveland, Ohio is home to many web design companies. Company 119 likes to think of ourselves, of course, as the premier web design company in the area. But there were some trends in 2018 when it came to web design that affected all of us, which made it for a very interesting year. Now, I know it's not quite the end of the year yet, but our friends at TechGenYZ put up a new blog this week that talked about some of those trends, and I wanted to share it with you today. So, virtual assistant John, if you could go to the slide deck, please. Let's talk. Now, this is not 2018 trends, individual trends. It's trends for the year 2018 that impacted Cleveland web design. Let's go to the next slide. This is a view of what we had here. That's the article. If you want to look it up, it's on TechGenYZ, so you can do that. Next slide, please. Bottom sticky elements. Sounds like a great garage band. Bottom sticky elements. Actually, it sounds like it would be like Chad Paul on the Bottom Sticky Elements. That would be a nice band. But sticky navigation. Basically what that means is if you put a navigation bar at the bottom and it's a sticky nav, then as you scroll through, that sticky navigation pane is going to stay in the same place as your screen rolls up. In this case, the image that I have here is of a top sticky nav. So you can see that menu at the top. As you scroll through, that menu would stay in place. Bottom sticky nav is getting more popular because people are more likely to use bottom sticky elements on their mobile device than they are on their desktop. So it's right by your thumb. It makes a lot of sense. So bottom sticky elements are getting very popular. Sticky nav, 22% faster to search with, and people on mobile search, of course, scroll from the bottom of the screen. So that's very interesting. Voice search. Let's go to the next one. We've talked about it. Voice search is not going anywhere. Folks, for the year 2018, 1 in 6 Americans now have a smart speaker in their home. They've got Alexa, they've got a Dot. Facebook has the new device coming out that's going to give you capabilities like that. So everybody's got one now. 1 in 6 Americans own one. I saw a stat the other day that I believe said about 40%. Don't hold me quite to that, but I think it's right around 40% of Americans are going to make a purchase using a smart speaker this year. So voice search is important. Web design, you have to be able to be optimized for web design, for voice search with your web design to be successful. John, let's go to the next one. Split screens are trending. This kind of a web layout where you've got split screens. In this case, it's a couple of different things you can do. On the right, it's a search locator. On the left, it's a sign up. But these split screens are becoming more and more popular in web design because it enables quick transactions and increases ability to make purchases immediately. On one side of the screen, you can have a purchase now. On the other side of the screen, you could have a shop around option. But that way, you're hitting both people that might come. One person that's just coming for information and one person that's doing a transactional search. You might be able to take care of both of them at the same time right on this one home screen. Let's go to the next one. I'll tell you now, our design team here is big on this. Parallax and scrolling animation are visually stunning, and they are really taking over what we've got. John, if you could hit play on that. We don't have to have any volume on this, but if you could just hit play on here for a little bit, it's going to show you some really cool designs that are coming through. I just want you to see what Parallax is because a lot of people don't know. So you see you've got this image, you've got some things that pop up. Now as you scroll through, you notice how some of the elements are stagnant, they're static, and other elements scroll. That's called Parallax, and that's what gives it that 3D effect as you're scrolling through. So of course it's visually stunning as long as it's not distracting. This is another great example here. Notice how it's got a parallax. Some of the elements move, some are static, but it gives you that cool kind of 3D effect. John and Chad do a great job here with our web design doing that. We're doing that for a lot of small business clients even. As long as it's not distracting, as long as it makes sense and fits the flow of the design, Parallax and scrolling animation are really doing a lot of great things in terms of making sites look better. Let's go to the next slide, John. And of course, virtual reality is changing the game. Virtual reality is getting more and more important with websites. In fact, with this one, if you take a look at it on this website, you could actually go around this kitchen, find everything in the kitchen. You could open drawers. You could see how the drawers would function if they put them in your house. I just saw on a Google Partners video yesterday that I believe in one of the furniture companies, you could actually take the chair that you want to buy and put it in your home and see it with the rest of the furniture in your home to see how it's going to look. And it really makes the shopping experience completely different. So virtual reality is changing a lot of things. We've got a customer of ours that is a luxury cabin rental company that has a virtual tour of their cabin spaces. So if somebody wants to see what that cabin is going to look like, they can actually bring up that option on the website and take a virtual tour without ever leaving their home. I ran into a company, a digital summit, that shows you office spaces all over the world with virtual reality. You can actually put the goggles on and you can interact inside that office. So virtual reality is making a big headway in really practical ways. I think when virtual reality first was a concept, I don't know that people saw all the practical applications that you could use with it, but now those are coming to fruition. So listen, we hope you learned more about some website design trends that are impacting Cleveland web design in 2018. Before you finish your first cup of coffee, then your competition will all day. We'll talk to you next time on the Coffee Cup.